facilitated diffusion. Active transport is where ATP is required.
Yeah.
And the movement of molecule is against the concentration gradient. These are the 2
Sure.
points. Against the concentration gradient. In case of passive transport, both the diffusion will not require, will be down, or you can say along, down or along the concentration gradient. What does that mean? It means that, let's show here. This is simple diffusion here. Simple diffusion. In case of simple diffusion, we have, let's say this is a barrier. What is this barrier? The cell membrane. Now, there is some small simple molecule. You may consider that a gas, carbon dioxide. Or let's say, because it's coming out to in, let's say this is oxygen. Oxygen moves from a region of higher concentration. The concentration is high here. The concentration is low here. You see, it is moving down the concentration gradient. That's simple diffusion. No energy needed. The molecules will be simply diffusing, moving from one area, from a region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration. Clear? Facilitated
Yes.
diffusion. Facilitated diffusion is where it's not simple. It needs to be facilitated. Why and when? Sometimes, the molecules are not as small as oxygen. It's not oxygen or carbon dioxide gas or some iron. It's actually, let's say, glucose. Glucose cannot just simply diffuse through the membrane. Even if the concentration gradient at one side, concentration is very high and the concentration is very low, the other side. Even in those cases, it won't be moving simply. Why? Because the structure is big. There's no simple movement. Thus, it is a bulky structure. Plus, glucose is polar. Glucose, or let's write, it's not just about glucose. So we'll say that the polar and bulkier. What is the meaning of polar?
Polar.
Yes.
Is it like two-way? Like got different
Polar means that it is water soluble. It gets
order,
dissolved in
huh?
water. Okay. So polar substances and those which are bulky, they're big. They cannot pass through the membrane without the help of, I'll have to make it again, without the help of some transport protein. They can only pass through these transport proteins, because they'll make a channel which will allow or accept the polar molecules to pass through the membrane. But then it will again be down the concentration gradient for sure, without the need of energy, without the need of ATP.